So I was 12 years old at the time. My friends and I, we went to the mall. One of them said, "Hey, let's get you a poster for your wall." At that time, I didn't have anything on my wall. So we went to a local drugstore looking for a car poster. I had 50 cents on me, and all the car posters were really expensive, way more than 50 cents. So we resorted to searching through the clearance bin, and the only car poster there was a Porsche 928. I guess that's when the 928 entered my mind. Later on, 928 kept entering my mind. One of my favorite movies, Scarface. He drove a 928. Yeah. Another movie, Risky Business. Tom Cruise went into the river in a 928. And one of my favorite TV icons, Tom Selleck, Magnum PI himself, didn't drive a 928 in the movies or on TV, but he did have a 928 as his personal car. And now I have a few 928s. So I guess it all started with that poster, and I still have that poster. What I like best about the 928 is the understated statement that it makes. It's a very low-key kind of supercar. It's not an in-your-face, come look at me kind of car like the Lamborghini Countach or the Ferrari Testarossa, which are two of its rivals back then. It's very easy on the eyes. You have to take a second look just to know what it is. But when the time comes to lay down the rubber, it does. It can keep up with the Testarossa and the Countachs of its time. It is such a understated supercar. It's you can drive it anywhere without really drawing a lot of attention. That's assuming that you don't want attention, and I kind of like that in a 928. It's subtle dominance. I've had lots of great moments in the 928, but I think the best one would be when I first bought the car. Went to Toronto. That was when I first bought my first car, and I went to see this car, and after looking at it, the owner gave me the keys and said, "Let's go for a test drive." I looked at him and I said, "I've never owned a manual car before." He looked at me in astonishment, and then quickly he said, "Don't worry about it. We all had to start somewhere." So really nice guy. He said, "I'll drive. You tell me how hard you want me to drive, and you can see how the car handles." The test drive was great. Eventually bought the car, and the day I went to pick it up, I had to ask him to back it up for me because never owned a manual car before. My uncle came with me, and I asked my uncle to drive right behind me, and please don't let anybody between us because I know I'm probably gonna stall a couple of times on the way back to his house. Well, once we got back to his house, I spent the next couple of evenings just practicing my shifting, getting out of first, getting into first. And I'm sure his neighbors must have just looked at this idiot in a 928 stalling every 20 feet or so. Must have been quite a humorous sight for them. But eventually I got the hang of it, and I drove the car all the way back to Vancouver. It was a great adventure.